All right, we're doing something a little different today. Instead of an article, we're going to break down a piece of pure, raw audio that I can only describe as a kind of philosophy called Fury of Life. It is chaotic, it is intense, and, it's also surprisingly profound in how it meditates on what it actually means to be alive. So let's just jump right in. So this piece doesn't ease you in at all. It just hits you right out of the gate with this abrupt, almost aggressive declaration, repeated like a mantra. It really feels like a direct confrontation, right? It's forcing you to acknowledge the simple, undeniable fact of your own existence from the very first second. But then, just as quickly as it states that fact, the source immediately questions it. Life is so fast, the voice says. It doesn't mean you're alive. And boom, right there, that's the central conflict we're going to explore. The huge difference between the biological state of being alive and the actual feeling of being alive. So, that brings us to our first section, the shock of being alive. This is all about digging into that initial jolt. We're going to unpack that tension between the simple fact that we exist and the dizzying, often totally confusing experience of it all. Now, to try and make sense of this chaotic present, the source does something really interesting. It pulls us back into the past. In Echoes of Yesterday, we're going to see how our relationship with what's already happened becomes the key to navigating what's happening right now. And the first piece of direct advice we get is this: command. It's not just some nostalgic, oh, remember yesterday. No, it's a specific, pragmatic instruction. Remember the mistakes. The past isn't a place to live, it's a place to learn. It's a tool. Okay, and this is where things get really interesting, because a fascinating contradiction pops up. On the one hand, we're told, hey, remember the past to learn from it. But on the other hand, the source throws this at us. Yesterday or tomorrow, it's all the same. This isn't just random confusion. It feels like a deliberate philosophical tension. Time is presented as both absolutely critical and somehow totally meaningless. So all this tension around time, well, it throws us headfirst right into the core of this audio's message. We're now in section 3, the unknowable question, which is all about that deep, gut-level feeling of existential uncertainty. The feeling that none of this quite adds up. And this is the question that just echoes throughout the entire piece. Why are we here? But it's not asked in a way that's looking for an answer. It's more like a cry of disorientation. It's a question that just highlights the sheer strangeness of existing at all. And here is the crucial point. The source labels this whole feeling as incomprehensible. It isn't giving us a problem that we're supposed to solve. It's describing a state that we're supposed to acknowledge. The chaos, the lack of a clear answer, that is the experience. The audio doesn't want to give you an answer. It wants you to feel the full weight of the question itself. The source kind of gestures toward all the usual places we might look for meaning. It mentions inescapable choices, religion, power, but they're not presented as solutions. They're just more elements in this chaotic mix, thrown in there right alongside the concept of pure nonsense. They don't clarify anything, they just add to the noise. And this just brilliantly illustrates how that existential dread is tied directly to how we perceive time. I mean, when you can't tell the difference between the past, the present, and the future, that question, why are we here, becomes even more destabilizing. You're not just lost in space, you're lost in time. Okay, so after throwing us into this state of total temporal confusion, the source finally offers us a path forward. And it's not some grand answer or explanation. Nope, it's a direct, powerful command for how to navigate all the chaos. And here it is. This is the core instruction. In the face of the incomprehensible, with time feeling like a total illusion and the past being full of mistakes, the only productive thing you can do is orient yourself toward the future. No matter what happens, it says, focus on what's next. So if we distill this whole chaotic journey down, what we're left with is this surprisingly clear 3-step philosophy for life. Step 1, remember the past, specifically its mistakes, so you can learn from them. Step 2, accept the present, with all its incomprehensible noise. And the most important one, step 3, purposefully, actively think about tomorrow. But why is this so urgent? Well, the source attaches some incredibly high stakes to this command. This isn't just some casual suggestion for self-improvement. It's framed as a matter of survival, because the future itself, it's not a guarantee. And this is the line that lands the final powerful punch. Life is one game. You get one shot. The reason you have to think about tomorrow is precisely because you might not have one. It's a realization that makes the simple act of planning and hoping feel incredibly urgent, and it gives you a deep appreciation for the time you have right now. So the source starts by telling you you're alive, it takes you on a journey through the chaos of feeling that life, and then it leaves you with a single clear command. It's a philosophy born from noise, a command to look forward. And so the piece ends by silently asking you the same question it demands of itself. Given that this is your one game, what are you going to think about tomorrow?